Welcome back, Colts fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report, to a special edition of the Colts Report with Sam Frick and Mike Rich. We are talking about the Colts' 31-27 win over the Cardinals. Guys, there's plenty to criticize. There's plenty to be concerned about. But for right now, for the next 10, 15 minutes, I just want to talk about the Colts are 5-1. The best record in the NFL, Sam.
Coming in, I don't think we thought the Colts would even get to that point. I think I had 4 wins at around the 8-game mark of the season. They've already exceeded my expectations. So I knew coming into this game, I knew Arizona was going to be a lot tougher game than the Raiders game for sure. I think the way Arizona runs their offense does make them a pretty difficult team to play against, even with Jacoby Brissett. And I don't love Jacoby Brissett as a quarterback, but the way they ran the offensive plays, I could tell Arizona is a competent offense. So I think there's some validity behind the score being what it was, but clearly some concerns on the defensive front. But at the end of the day, I think what it mattered most was the fact we got the stops that we needed most. And our offense today, we really can't criticize too much of our offense today for the most part. I thought we had a pretty solid offensive game, all things considered. And for me, my Colt of the game to me is Jonathan Taylor. He really took over, and especially in the second half of the game. Tate was just in a world of his own. I think he ran for over 100 yards in that game with a pair of touchdowns. So he was pretty good today for the Colts.
Wait, Sam, I agree with you completely. Jonathan Taylor, you can make him the player of the game, but once again, that offensive line was so good. Yeah. It just completely dominated that game. No complaints about the offense, Mike. The defense had some issues clearly, but that might have been injury related, including an injury that happened in the pregame that you can't prepare for. Without Ward, without Kenny Moore, you kind of understand. We already know the front seven's not good enough to be competitive, probably. And today, the defensive backfield wasn't very good either, but that was injury related.
I think Sam hit it on the head. I think Arizona has a very competent offense, and they played fairly well with their backup quarterback and losing one of their star receivers, and they still kept it a game. So injuries to Kenny Moore and Ward, I think that definitely impacts this game and allows Arizona to score 27 points.
Yeah, no complaints about the offense at all.
No,
right?
Not at all. And my player of the game is Quentin Nelson, because I thought Jonathan Taylor ran left so much, and I thought Nelson just, again, had another fantastic game.
Guys, give me Tyler Warren as the player of the game. Not only 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown, but his blocking. We saw a play where Jonathan Taylor may be the best running back in the league, and everybody bid on Tyler Warren at the goal line, and Jonathan Taylor just walked in because they were more concerned about Tyler Warren. That's how much of an effect he has on this offense.
Yeah. It was good to have Alec Pierce back as well. Some of the catches he had were just phenomenal. I just keep waiting for the shoe to drop on this team, but I just keep persevering, and I didn't have them where they're at today.
No doubt. I don't think anyone did.
No.
You look at all the best case scenarios, and I don't think, Sam, that the 5-1 was even thought of with a best case scenario.
No, I don't think so. I thought at best was maybe 500 at best at that time, because I thought the schedule was decent enough to get to there, but I didn't think 5-1 was even remotely possible at all.
And we're 2 plays from 6-0.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We'll talk more about this on the Colts report on Wednesday, but man, the preparation again. The Colts were prepared for. They are 6 games in. They've been prepared for every game. It's been, again, on Wednesday, we're going to have some issues with some coaching decisions in the game. I'm going to. But you cannot complain at all about how prepared the offense and defense are for the games.
Great. I have a question to you, too. Does a lot of this have to do with the fact that now that they have a quarterback that best fits Shane Steichen's system, now they have the better way of figuring out how to prepare for each game? Because I feel like with Anthony Richardson in the past, not to be super critical, but in the past, Anthony Richardson's inconsistencies have made it difficult to prepare for opponents. Now that what you expect from Daniel Jones every game, it's so much easier to prepare for every team. And then we have a defense like we have right now with our new defensive coordinator. I think that sense of consistency across the board makes it that much easier to prepare for each team, which is why we have looked like the better team almost every game.
I felt like they never gave Anthony Richardson a chance to succeed. I never felt like they put him in the right positions. I didn't think that the play calling was creative last year. This year has been very creative. I think I saw they were 9 for 9 on touchdown drives inside the 20 in
Yes.
the last couple of weeks, and their play at the 1-yard line. It was so well drawn up that the Cardinals had no chance to stop it. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I just didn't see that last year.
Nope.
And these close games that they're winning, the blowouts that they're having, that's what really good teams do. They find a way to win games like this. Starting this game, they should have won this game. And heck, I think Riley Leonard was the backup today because Anthony Richardson got injured with a band.
Yeah.
Injured your eye.
Series in the pregame, players out.
That could be. But again, it's just a sign of that he is just injury prone. I snapped in the eye with a band.
With a rubber band, yeah.
I don't know. I just hope Daniel Jones can stay upright, and it's playing that way where Daniel Jones is going to get a contract out of this. So
sure would think so. You sure would think so.
Oh yeah, he's getting overpaid.
I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, but it's going to happen. It looks like. So the Colts now 5-1, best record in the league. There are still some teams that are 4-1 that have to play today, but and Buffalo tomorrow. But right now they are sitting alone with the best record in the league. This makes them also 4-0 at home. And we talk about point differential. They lead the league ahead of Detroit, but that brings me to this point, Sam. I said in the fourth quarter when the Colts got behind, they've played 5 games and they haven't seen this situation yet where it's a game they're supposed to win and they're behind, an offense that's had its way with the defense. Let's prove it and go down and score a touchdown. And that's exactly what they did. So, yes, it was not their best game. It was probably their worst game of the year, to be honest. I think they probably played overall their worst game of the year. And again, the grain of salt being Kenny Moore and Charvarius Ward, probably their best two defensive players out. But they figured out a way to get it done. And, they did that against the Broncos as well. But I thought even today that was kind of another test that they passed.
I agree. And I would argue the Rams game was probably the sloppy game of the two, but Arizona game was definitely probably from an overall game standpoint, right, probably the worst game of the year for sure. And and just like the Rams game, even though we lost that game, both those games that we were behind and showed signs that we may be going the wrong direction in the game, we found a way to respond in a key moment. And I think that's the biggest difference that we're seeing this year compared to last year. Is we're getting a creative offensive playing calling finally, and now we're showing a sense of resiliency, which we did not see that in the past, which is a good sign for a good team.
I can't believe I'm saying this. If last year at this point, Greg would have never believed that I was saying this, but I am so glad they kept Shane Steichen. This coaching staff has been, again, some in-game decisions I have some problems with, but not much. They have been flawless. They have come out to play every game. They have looked like they were ready to play out of the gate every single week.
Yeah, and the thing about it is too, Greg, is as we get further on the schedule, the wins that we keep stacking up, it's only going to help us when we start playing more on the road and have to play some of the tougher teams. Getting these wins already this early in the season is a good sign that the Colts are showing improvement that we have not seen in a very long time. And hey, by the way, folks, Seattle beat Jacksonville today.
That's right.
A little bit of cushioning now in the division race as well.
And that was my point. That was going to be my next point, was that they gained a game on Jacksonville today. Hey, let me point out something else to you. They are 3 games ahead of the Chiefs, and they are 4 games ahead of the Ravens. Who would ever guess that?
Wow. That's just crazy. Yeah, at the beginning of the season, that would have never even thought that.
Never thought it possible. Yeah.
Me neither.
Not at all possible.
They're ahead of the Bills in the standings too, at least for another day.
At least for another day. The amount of success they've had for so long. But either way, the Colts exceeding expectations to me is the highlight of the season so far. Is that they have overcome the season struggles of getting over the hump, and now best record in the NFL. Everybody's got their eyes on the Colts. It could also be a caveat too, Greg and Michael, because now that the Colts have all this attention, that means from here on out, every team that's playing us is going to give us our best efforts.
I think the next game is going to be a great test going back west. I think the Chargers beat them, but heck, I've been wrong all year, so let's keep it up.
I was going to say next, as we head out, once again, I got to just point it out. The Colts are 5-1. The Colts guys are 5-1. All right. At the Chargers on Sunday, as of right now, ESPN Analytics gives the Colts a 47% chance of winning that game. Then the Titans at home. If you can win those two, you're 7-1 heading to Pittsburgh.
Oh man, that would be huge because the way Pittsburgh's playing right now defensively, that's probably going to be one of our tougher games of the year without question, which means as we get closer to the halfway mark of the season and whatnot, the emphasis of upgrading on defense is going to be even louder. I've said this all year long. We need help in the edge rushing position because when we start playing teams like Pittsburgh that have these elite lines, we need that help. And I think that's where I think Trey Hendrickson or just somebody in the edge rushing position or the defensive back position, we need to get that addressed if we can at some point this year. So the fact we're winning games with the amount of flaws we have is a good sign. We just got to continue to improve. And if we can upgrade on defense, and hopefully we can stay healthy as well. So far, we've been pretty fortunate, all things considered. But we want to make sure we can try to avoid the injuries as much as possible too, because that's been part of the reason why we've been successful is we've had not as much turnover as one would expect. But right now it's just continue to stack up the wins, get a good offensive play going, and just build the wins from here. Because as we get to Pittsburgh and whatnot, then we're going to start playing some tougher competition. But again, as we start wrapping up this episode, the big takeaway for me today is we found a way to win in a game against Arizona, a team that had no pressure whatsoever. They gave us a ball game. We found a way to win in a key moment against a team that we needed to win.
Remember, on Wednesday, we will have our Colts report where we'll break down the film. We'll talk a little bit about the Chargers coming up. And then on Friday evening, we will release our Colts Chargers preview. We will be joined again, probably by Sam, hopefully by Mike, by Will Rutherford as well. We'll get Will Rutherford's thoughts on another Colts win on Monday's Strictly Biased with Will Rutherford. And everybody, thank you for listening. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a Colts fan in your life. Help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. Mike Rich, final thoughts.
I'm super pumped about this team. We are just so fortunate to live in the state of Indiana. It just seems
always.
Like every team we have is some team. IU, the Fever, the Pacers, Notre Dame. All of these teams in this state are just
a lot to be proud of.
And then we have Purdue coming right around the corner. And we got plugged today during the broadcast about, the Indianapolis teams and Purdue. And so just super, super excited for sports fans in this state. And, I'd love to see us win a championship.
Mike, it's not just the winning. It's the teams are real easy to be proud of.
The heart, the effort. Heck, Halliburton was probably at this game.
Yeah, probably.
Caitlin Clark
with Caitlin Clark, yeah, that's right.
Just the support of the professionals and all of our sports supporting each other is just awesome to see. It's an awesome experience, and I just hope we can continue to stack up the wins, like Sam said. And the next 4 games, I think we have an opportunity to win each of them. So let's just keep going.
Take us home, Sam.
It just goes back to what we talked about. Colts exceeding expectations when nobody thought they were going to do so. Daniel freaking Jones does it again. And the Colts are in a position, best record in the NFL. When a lot of these teams, all these expectations are not performing to expectations, the Colts have been the epitome of consistency so far this season, in a season full of inconsistencies. And in the state of Indiana, where there's a lot of excitement of teams all over all the sports right now, lots of excitement, a lot of tension about Indiana as a whole right now. And now the Colts continue to bolster that momentum into the latter half of 2025.
And here on the Central Indiana Sports Report, we're talking about all of it. Thanks, guys. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.